Hello Internet, Zach MG here, and I'm going to read some unpopular opinions from Reddit today. These aren't necessarily opinions I hold, most of them are just opinions I found to be kind of funny.
There is no point in arguing with anyone online. Whether you are right or wrong does not matter at all. You can post over 99,999 research studies proving your point, but people will never change their mind. It is futile. Even marketing and advertising experts, at least in the books I read, say you cannot change anyone's opinion. If one thinks that X is bad, no matter what you say to them, they will still think X is bad. Trying to convince them otherwise will just anger you and the other person. People will have beliefs they will have. One can only accept it and move on.
Counterpoint to that, um, arguing with people online creates conversations and helps people outside of that form ideas if they did not have ideas on subjects to begin with. It's actually beneficial outwards to have people to argue online, and it's fun.
Cryptocurrency isn't the future. Short post. If one man can manipulate the currency by 20 to 30%, it's a bad currency. If it fluctuates by 10% a day, it's pretty much as stable as the Venezuelan bolivar. Only way I see it being somewhat wide scale is if regulations are introduced, but then it becomes almost the same as regular currency. Fight me if you want more or want to, but from a logical standpoint, I don't think it has any value in the future, except if you're involved in specific activities. Then that's a different story. By the way, I'm a young 20-year-old guy, not some 65-year-old.
Counterpoint to that one, cryptocurrencies may not be the future, but they're certainly not the past. Only time will tell. Not all of them are ripoffs, though. There's actually quite a few sustainable ones out there.
Users of recreational drugs like cocaine are worse than the drug dealers. At least most drug dealers carry out their activities full well in the knowledge that what they do is morally wrong. Most users of cocaine are middle to upper class, accountants, lawyers, and college students from good families, etc. They don't think twice about the moral consequences of their actions. It's just a good time to them. If there was no demand, there wouldn't be a supply, and demand is through the roof. From people who don't give a rat's ass about those who may have died, or lives that may have been ruined for that gram of white powder to reach their nose. There we go.
Most drug users are actually pretty decent people. There's You can play the whole moral supply chain card, but when it comes down to it, like the supply is only really high because the artificial demand due to the fact that it's illegal. If things like cocaine were legal in the United States, for instance, it would be a lot more accessible and then a lot more of a turnoff to younger people, especially in middle class and lower class families.
AI is the worst thing to ever happen to mankind. I just feel at a certain point, what is the point in doing anything anymore when a computer can do it like 100% better? I can make a pizza by hand and slowly read and follow the recipe, while an AI can make the pizza, cook the pizza, and deliver the pizza all by itself. I'd hate to live in a world where 90% of the workforce could now be replaced by a better replacement. Even driving is becoming automated, and anything that isn't automated will be hated upon for it being dangerous. No longer will you have human interaction when being delivered pizza, getting a package delivered, checking out at the store, ordering your food via a tablet and it is delivered by an AI waiter. I just feel this impending sense of doom. With everything becoming automated, I won't even be able to play the game of life. If everything becomes automated, then there will be no purpose. I'm not valued, and I'd be waiting to die. We'd have AI soldiers without morals, which is scary to think about in the hands of China and Hong Kong. I'm just very sad because I feel this impending sense of doom. Doom.
Counterpoint, AI is actually a really great thing for society because it allows for people to have futures doing things like this, just pointlessly making YouTube videos in the middle of the night. Um, people can be a lot more creative, have more agency to spend their time as they please, and more than likely just be paid to exist in the future that 90% of the jobs would be AI. I don't see the doom and gloom in that one. More time to do as you please. More time for your family, more time for your friends, and more time to be around people you want to be around instead of being around, you know, customers or anything like that. Whatever your job is. Like, you could still interact with people in an AI world. There would be no reason that you couldn't, except for your own agoraphobia and maybe technological dependencies. Also, if every country had AI soldiers, then wouldn't it be like fair? What would be so scary about China's AI soldiers versus Hong Kong's AI soldiers if both had them? And who's to say that many soldiers that would be fighting in and who's to say that AI wouldn't be programmed with a base set of morals, or wouldn't develop a moral system of its own, knowing that it's a tool of ours to aid us and help us?
This one's just fucking bullshit. Steak is just an overrated, overpriced, gross hunk of meat. I don't get the hype. It's a chunk of meat. It can't possibly taste so good that people will like pay $50 at a restaurant for a literal hunk of meat. The only reason people like it is because they're conditioned by society to think it's a delicacy, classy to have, and almost similar to how diamonds actually aren't worth a lot. And you can find shit, tons of them everywhere, but people pay thousands for them anyway.
They say that no opinion is ever wrong, that, it's an opinion, it's a personal take, but no, steak isn't just a gross lump of meat. You gotta season it, you gotta slop it up. But in all seriousness, I don't think anyone's really paying $50 for a steak unless they're going to a real fancy restaurant. And even then, you're getting like a Wagyu or something.
We should give our pets our last name and continue their bloodline along our own. Just imagine how dope it would be to like have the same dog family run alongside your family. Like you could be talking to your pet, saying things like, "I remember when your dad," and when did, and when you have kids one day, then you could even have puppy-in-laws and shit. This seems like the most fire side quest life can offer, if you ask me. I rest my case.
What? Like, just kidding. Do you? That could be a fun little family tradition of yours, but, I mean, what?
Crypto miners should use their combined computer power for scientific purposes and instead be rewarded a portion of money based on their contributions. What the title says. I find cryptocurrency an incredible waste of something that otherwise could be useful for more people than just themselves. Cryptocurrency is just a bunch of computers doing a how deep does this infinity deep hole go? And crunching numbers. The electricity used by these crypto farms is ridiculous. And as another unpopular post said, cryptocurrency isn't the future. The transaction fees and time are too great.
This opinion reminds me of that one where people say that, all the scientists should all focus on curing cancer, or, something above that level where, if everybody that was a thing, they had the same field, they obviously all know how to do the same thing. Like, how do we know these crypto miners would be good scientists? Or are you saying that they should use their hardware space and their rigs for science? But then, what science? Plus, who's to say that the crypto miner necessarily agrees with what the scientists are working on? I mean, do they get to pick who pays them or where their computer power is going?
Dark Souls getting an easy mode would not affect you in any way. This is a debate that gets brought up a lot. Some people say that Dark Souls and other From Software games should have easy modes. Some people say that they shouldn't. To which I say, who the fuck cares? The main argument. I lost the voice. No. Dark Souls getting an easy mode would not affect you in any way. This is a debate that gets brought up a lot. Some people say that Dark Souls and other From Software games should have easy modes. Some people say that they shouldn't. To which I say, who the fuck cares? The main argument against an easy mode in Dark Souls is the games are built on being hard. Making them easier would be take away from the experience. But this always confuses me when people say this. If Dark Souls got an easy mode, nobody would force you to experience the game that way. It would be an option. Now you might say, I know that nobody is forcing me to play in that way, but other people would be experiencing game the wrong way. Again, this always confuses me when people say this. How does someone else's experience of a game affect you? Oh wait, it doesn't. At all. Even if you think that game being easier makes the games worse, so what? That's for those people to decide for themselves. If someone wants to play a game on easy mode, that doesn't affect you. At all.
Dark Souls doesn't need an easy mode because it's an online game. Um, you want an easy mode, then get a guidebook. But really, it's repeat, repeat, die, learn patterns, dodge a lot, stab a lot, level up a lot. You're going to end up in the same area over and over again. It's not a hard game. You just have to focus and repeat. That's it. That's the trick. That's the big scary trick. Although I am stuck in that DLC Dragon in the Ash, in the painting world, I think it is. I don't know, somewhere. He's tough. Stuck in the third game, that is. That's where I'm stuck. I haven't even played the second one. Played the first one. Beat that. Beat it real good.
Men and women cannot be just friends. I'm framing this in the context of having previously been lovers. You cannot just default for being friends. There will always be significant expectation of intimacy by one or both. If that need is not reciprocated by one of the two, the relationship will quickly evaporate, and that makes being just friends impractical, in my opinion.
Men and women can be friends. It's just you probably aren't friends to begin with. People ever think of that? That maybe, like, they weren't really friends with their partner. They were just with their partner. And then after the relationship fell apart, you know, that was it. And then they just didn't know what to do. So they just kind of said, let's be friends. Because it's awkward to not end on some kind of closure.
Porn stars should be forced to wear condoms. Title says it. Many young people watch porn when they become aware of their sexual feelings, aka puberty. They learn from it, and they want to turn porn into their own reality. I believe if porn stars had to wear condoms, kids would be more accepting of condoms and practice safe sex. This could lead to lower teen pregnancy and help with unrealistic expectations the internet sets forth.
Any idea that focuses on changing pornography for the benefit of children, other than like keeping children as uninvolved with pornography as possible, seems like a bad one, even if it's an opinion.
Posing for pictures instantly makes them stupid, fake, and lame. I never have photos taken of me, especially when it's I. Everyone get in this and smile. These stupid photos with these fake laughing people do like, oh, we're having such a good time. Straight faced, assessing the image as soon as the clicks finish. Even taking photos of family, insanely stupid. Come here and take a photo with your auntie. Big smile. Give him a hug. Candid photos only. Anything else is just a fucking performance.
Jeez. I mean, it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but is it really that bad to stand next to your family member and smile for a second, even if it's a fake one? Probably.
Microwaved hot dogs are superior to all. I love a nice microwaved hot dog. You just put it in the microwave and walk away until you hear it pop and open the door to make sure it looks like an exploding cigar Bugs Bunny would give to Elmer Fudd. Edit. No paper towel either.
This opinion holder either has the cleanest microwave ever, or they are just a straight up mad lad. Um, just doing their hot dogs like fucking Looney Tune cigars. Keep going, man. That's all I can say.
I don't care if a movie is bad. Sure, there are movies I think are great, but I don't think any movie is actually bad. I've seen a lot of movies everyone hates, but I enjoyed while watching. I wouldn't watch them again, but they were entertaining in the moment. Some people get so heated about what movies are good or bad, but why does it even matter? It's just a movie. It's for entertainment, and no movie is made for everyone.
I fucking love bad movies. I understand this opinion wholeheartedly. I'll watch anything. You know? I mean, that's the point, right?
Waterfalls are overrated. I recently went on 2 trips with my friends to waterfalls in North Carolina. I was actually super excited for the first one because I had never seen a waterfall before. The drive there was 2 hours and flew by because I was having fun with friends. Then we got there and I had to do a 1.5 mile walk up the trail to get to the waterfall. But that wasn't even an issue to me. 1.5 miles is no biggie, but I was expecting the reward for this 1.5 mile trek would be amazing. And it was, until 2 minutes after. Then I realized that's it. That's the waterfall. And it amazes me for like 2 minutes. And then I'm like, eh. All the bug bites, the muds, the fact that I almost got a concussion because I hit my head on a tree. Funny story. All that just for 2 to 3 minutes of me having a genuine interest in the looking at water. That's all it is. Looking at water.
The, the real fun of the waterfall is when you go sit underneath it and you feel the water crashing down on your back, or maybe stand behind it if it's too big of a waterfall. You know, you don't want to die, get pushed into the rocks or some shit below it. That wouldn't be good. But, you know, you find a nice medium sized waterfall. You have a nice swimming hole by it. Probably some deep water there.
Giving birth is not admirable. I don't think having a kid willingly, not because of rape, doing it to survive, etc., is something others should admire. Change my mind. I see a lot of posts stating that moms are superheroes and whatnot. But are they really?
Yeah, giving birth is pretty damn admirable. My mom gave birth to me, and I mean, that's it. I gotta like appreciate that, and like other people exist too. So I admire that. It's pretty damn admirable. Like someone's willing to shove someone out of themselves. Lucky I don't have to do it. But yeah, other than that, waterfalls really just looking at water, but it's really just the cool factor of how it's just like crashing down and waves everywhere. Not waves, but mist. You know, it's just one of those wonders of the world. Nature's beautiful, man.
I don't like realistic video games. I remember playing on the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3, where the graphics weren't the best, but definitely weren't the worst. Just right. Now, on the PlayStation 5, it's like playing a movie. It feels different and a bit too extra. Games kind of lose that charm to me now.
realistic video games are one of the biggest pains in the asses. Like, I like the looks of realistic video games. I don't necessarily like the gameplay. Like a lot of survival games now are super realistic, as realistic as the technology allows, and that makes it more tough. Like Stranded Deep, I gotta fucking crack coconuts all the time and make sure not to eat two of them in a row, otherwise I get diarrhea. Terrible, terrible mechanic. You die. But yeah, like I don't know. I enjoy the playing the movies part, unless it's like Final Fantasy. I can't get into those.
SpongeBob SquarePants is disproportionately overrated and doesn't deserve to be named one of the funniest shows ever. Alright, this may or may not be unpopular, but I'm not here to shit on the show for crappy reasons. That being said, this show is one of the crappiest shows I've come across. I don't have problems with the animation style. Early 2000s had some wacky style shows. One of my actual favorites is Ed, Edd n Eddy. It's the writing of SpongeBob that sucks. It isn't actually that funny. I won't say it's not funny at all, maybe something here and there, but not as much as it is celebrated about. It is an average shitty cartoon at its best. All the characters are all the characters are irritating. What's lovable about a protagonist who's dumb as a doornail and have his main goal in life is to be a doormat to his boss and irritate his neighbor 24/7? And Patrick is only there to prove that being even dumber is funny? I don't mind characters that irritate each other or the viewers in some cases, and as that is established and for reasons embraced by people as entertainment. But it is cringy as hell. I'm not here to talk about cartoons being a way to teach kids good things. We crossed that ship way over in the 90s. But getting to grow up with a show like SpongeBob is one of the unhealthiest ways possible. I keep hearing about SpongeBob as the most funniest show ever over and over again, and it just ticks me off. I need to say it out loud. It's not that funny or even good.
You see, to understand the humor of SpongeBob, you need a very specific palette of comedy. You need to understand the absurd and classical music, as well as the maddening desire to take down those around you by being the most obnoxious sea sponge there is. Um, it's really just a true show of mastercraft work on Nickelodeon's part. I'd say one of the greatest animations of all time. But Dragon Ball Super exists, so I can't say it's one of the greatest animations of all time. Because there was Dragon Ball before Super and before Z. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're interested.